A cordial greeting. Today is Monday, October 20th, 2025. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia. At the time of recording this video, it's 6:30 a.m. local time in the Greater Antilles, where we continue to closely monitor the evolution of Invest 98. As you can see, Invest 98 is currently located just south of Puerto Rico, and during the past night we've observed that the system has continued to show signs of cyclonic organization. As a result, the chances of development continue to increase, and it's very likely that between Wednesday and Thursday we'll have either a tropical depression or tropical storm Melissa. According to the latest tropical weather outlook from the National Hurricane Center at 2 a.m., the probability of development remains at 70% over the next 7 days, and it's very likely that in the 8 a.m. update those probabilities will rise. As I mentioned in the last video, there's still uncertainty regarding the future track of this potential cyclone, which has the potential to produce a significant flooding event for Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba, or Jamaica. Therefore, residents across the Greater Antilles should stay very alert to this disturbance, especially in Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and Haiti, since the chances of being affected by this system have increased in the early morning model runs. In the following satellite animation, we can see that the tropical wave is already located over sea surface temperatures around 30 degrees Celsius, which will continue to help the system organize. In fact, there's a possibility it could become a hurricane by the end of this week. Now, let's take a look at the specialized model tracks. In general, all maintain a west-northwest motion over the next 72 hours. Between Thursday and Saturday, most models show the system moving very slowly south of Haiti, then diverging on its future path, some taking it over the Dominican Republic and Haiti, others toward eastern Cuba, and others just south of Jamaica. Meanwhile, if we look at the global model projections, we have two main scenarios. The first takes it across the Dominican Republic and Haiti, and the second keeps it farther west. As you'll see in the next few minutes, in terms of probabilities, scenario number 1 now appears to be the most likely, though we can't rule out scenario number 2, which is favored by the European model. These two scenarios are evident when analyzing the ensemble members of the various models, which already show a moderate probability of the future cyclone moving over Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and a low to moderate probability of it moving west toward northern Nicaragua and eastern Honduras. In response to the system's organization, the intensity models have adjusted their projections. Overall, they show strengthening over the next 72 hours, with most indicating a hurricane forming between Thursday and Friday. The ship's intensity model, in particular, shows a high probability of rapid intensification within about 3 days. Now let's review some of the global model runs showing these two scenarios and their impacts across the Caribbean. Let's start with the American model, which in about 18 hours develops a tropical depression north of Venezuela. This allows the system to intensify, showing a Category 1 hurricane moving into the Dominican Republic and Haiti on Thursday morning, then slowly tracking east-northeast north of Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. This movement would draw deep Caribbean moisture northward, affecting the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. For this reason, even if the center of circulation doesn't cross the islands, in the American model scenario an extreme rainfall event is possible later this week and into early next week. In fact, this trajectory could also bring tropical storm force gusts to the region. We can see that in the next animation, which shows wind gusts according to the American model projection, hurricane force winds affecting the Dominican Republic and tropical storm force gusts, in orange, reaching Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands this weekend. Under this scenario, the American model projects rainfall totals over 500 millimeters across much of the Dominican Republic, potentially leading to catastrophic flooding. For Puerto Rico, the model indicates between 7 and 10 inches of rain by the end of the week. Looking at the ensemble members of the American model, most support a track over the Dominican Republic. However, some still show the alternate scenario, keeping it closer to Jamaica and approaching Nicaragua and Honduras. Now let's look at the other scenario shown by the European model, which is very different. Within about 36 hours, it develops a tropical depression or tropical storm south of the Dominican Republic. By Thursday, it keeps the system stationary east-southeast of Jamaica, and by the weekend it begins moving west-southwest, strengthening into a hurricane east of Nicaragua and Honduras. Under this scenario, tropical storm force winds could affect parts of Haiti and Jamaica and eventually the eastern coasts of Nicaragua and Honduras. The heaviest rainfall would occur over the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Jamaica, with totals exceeding 175 millimeters during the next 7 days. In the European ensemble, most members favor this west-southwest scenario toward Honduras and Nicaragua. However, unlike yesterday, today we do see some members showing movement toward the Dominican Republic. Finally, the European AI model continues to favor scenario number 1, taking the system across the Dominican Republic and Haiti between Thursday and Saturday, then keeping it on a track very close to the north of Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands early next week. This would bring deep Caribbean moisture northward and result in excessive rainfall across the northeastern Caribbean. This model projects rainfall totals exceeding 250 millimeters across much of the Dominican Republic and between 7 and 8 inches across Puerto Rico. What can I tell you? It's clear that Invest 98 has begun organizing at a faster rate, and it's very likely that between Tuesday and Wednesday we'll see the formation of Tropical Storm Melissa, which could find favorable conditions to strengthen into a hurricane south of Haiti and southeast of Jamaica. Although we continue to consider two main scenarios, one tracking over the Dominican Republic and Haiti, likely causing extreme rainfall for Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, the Dominican Republic, and Haiti, and appearing to be the most probable, we cannot rule out the alternate scenario, where it moves farther west, passing just south of Jamaica and later approaching Central America. So please, residents of the Greater Antilles and Central America, share this video with others so they stay informed. Also, please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click the bell so you receive notifications whenever I post new videos. I hope you all have an excellent Monday.